What up, what up? It's your boy Bishop the Overseer coming to you live, the Life, Mike, and Beyond. So we're on episode 3.1. Episode 3 was uniquely and almost exclusively posted on Instagram due to the studio footage that I wanted to put in there with the picture and so on and so forth of the studio engineer, Joel Katz. So if you're looking for the episode 3, you could probably only find that on Instagram, but you can locate this here 3.1 episode, across all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. So this is the last part of the documentary. As you can see, I'm no longer in Hawaii. The family trip and vacation is come to a close, so I'm back here in Arizona. It's a little cool out here today. I got on my my army setup here, so I'm all blacked out. But you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to drop the knowledge as to the business aspect of music, and I want to be clear. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a guru when it comes to this, but I think I've done well enough and have enough knowledge in the game, to sit where I sit today. So, from my aspect, I came from, selling, tapes and, basically cassette tapes and compact discs out of the trunk of my car. I can remember my very first project, commercially released project, was the Brick City's Finest EP. And I went to disc makers and, they helped me do my cover art, my insert. They looked me out with the UPC barcode that I needed at the time, which I eventually went and got my own UPC barcode from GSUS1. And now, we put out our items with our own barcode. And at that time, it wasn't digital, so that's like 2001. So you didn't have access to the digital retailers the way you have today. I had to kind of stump the pavement, started out, from the trunk. At the time, I was in undergraduate studies down at Essex County College. I would get to class a little early and put up my flyers and stuff, and I had like a little CD player that I used to carry around with me and let people listen to the music. And the county college was very supportive in that regard. I got a chance to perform down there, and I would sell it to my colleagues and have my database where I would have people fill out their names, their address, and telephone numbers, email addresses, so I can mark it back to them for when we put out other projects and had the opportunity to do performances, invite them out to the performances. So went from that to basically getting the distribution channel opened up by dealing with mom and pop spots and getting into some of the local record stores out in Newark, New Jersey. What's up, Kevin? What up, my man? Bless. Hey, I hit you on the inbox on your Facebook, so check out your inbox. I left you a message there and get back to me. You heard? So, yeah, Kevin Malta, that's one of my colleagues from Essex County College, so he already know what time it is. So, basically, got with some of the local mom and pop spots, got the record in the store, and was able to kind of do my own inventory and keeping track of the product. I guess the only real difference between now and then is the inventory. Sometimes from a business aspect, you had to sit on that inventory and it may not move as quick as you need it to move, and that's money that's kind of, sitting dormant, if that makes any sense. So from a digital perspective now, you don't press up the units and, you take one master recording and it just keeps duplicating itself on the digital retailers, and it's an infinite amount of inventory that you physically don't have to store. So that's a game changer for me and a lot of acts and a lot of labels, because they don't have the cost of having to press up units, and they can put those monies elsewhere, if you will. So kind of just rewinding back and going from the mom and pop spots, having to go around and collect all my own cash and stuff because I was basically kind of leaving it there on consignment. Then, I had the opportunity. One day I walked into FYE at the time. That's a For-You Entertainment retail location. I said, I have commercially pressed product, and how can I get my product in the store? And the store manager at the time said, this is the number, called Trans World Entertainment, and talk to this particular person, and they'll point you in the right direction. And from there, I ended up getting that, not only the Brick City's Finest EP, but the CD that was out at the time, the B.I. Season Keeping on Blaze single. I was able to get that into over 300 retail locations physically across the East Coast and the Eastern region. So that was like FYE at the time, For-You Entertainment, Coconuts, Strawberries, and the like. So that was a pretty huge accomplishment, in addition to being able to do the in-stores at the time, being able to tour certain physical retail locations and do in-stores, sign autographs, posters, sell units, perform. That went a long way to building a fruitful career in entertainment. But then you kind of fast forward to around 2006. That's when the landscape started changing with getting into the digital aspect of things and shopping around for different digital distributors. And at the time, people were soliciting me for, and in that process, when they were soliciting, I had came across this company called The Orchard at the time, and they solicited me. They wanted me to come on board and distribute my product, but I wasn't really too much into the digital at that time. I was just about selling them physical units and doing those shows, and just didn't really have a taste for the digital landscape at the 2006 time frame. So from that aspect, we went from the physical to now getting into digital with the first project that went digital, which was the Commitment to a Positive Change National Ad Campaign, Volume 1. And from Volume 1, I guess we've been digital ever since. So, getting into the publishing rights aspect of it, like, dealing with BMI, ASCAP, SESCA, the mechanical licensing aspect of dealing with, Harry Fox, Music Reports, and many others, moreover, in addition to sync placement, where you're dealing with different entities that want to place your music into television, films, commercials, and video games. Being on top of those things is, going to be your key aspect from my standpoint to grow your brands. You want to, get registered with BMI so you can get your performance rights royalties when your stuff is being performed publicly. And in the same next sentence, if you will, you want to get with people like Music Reports and Harry Fox, because they they handle your mechanical licensing aspect. Getting your stuff placed everywhere from restaurants to stadiums to karaoke bars to down to ringtones in a sense. So you want to cover all those bases and try to make sure you have a professional product and you can get it the way you're supposed to. To kind of bring it 360. I had to develop my membership and get a membership in a recording academy to become a voting member and to be able to enter my own products for consideration of Grammy considerations or Grammy nomination considerations, or For-You consideration is what they call it. And getting with the RIAA, which basically that's how I was able to get access to the ISRCs that you need, which are the individual track barcodes that you need to go digital if you want to control all of that yourself without having your distributor do it for you. In this day and age, the distributors, give you the access to their UPCs and their ISRCs. But I just think as an indie, it's good to control all those aspects of the business. For one, you'll understand what it takes to put out a project, and for two, you're indie, you're a business, you need to understand every aspect of the business. It's not just about the performance aspect of it. It's about the logistics and the analytics and understanding the finance and how do you go about developing your business as an LLC. Getting that EIN, that tax ID, being able to establish credit, get credit as a business. To be able to finance these things and open up business lines of credit, business charge cards and the like. So you have to understand all the business aspects of it in addition to being a performer, being a songwriter, being a producer, if you will. So it's just a little food for thought. Again, I don't have all the answers. I'm not a guru as it comes to this, but I think I did enough and continue to do enough to keep me afloat and to have a fruitful life for my wife and child. So, I'll leave the table open, with the Q&As in the session. You all can continue to ask questions and drop your comments or what have you. I'm open to any type of discussion to further the knowledge process and the knowledge base. Anything you want to do to continue that conversation. So, what I'm saying. So, I wish you all the best. This is Overseer, Bishop the Overseer. Salute. It's been a pleasure.